go. Alright, I'm gonna check Discord first. And as soon as I put my phone, as soon as I was about to put my phone down, my mobile live dashboard decides to do its thing. Oh, excuse me. Probably taking a bit of time before, it updates everything, or shows everything. Shows the later shit, if you will. Alright. Alright, go mobile live dashboard. Want to check the timing. I'm gonna check the stream, so it's looking at the sounding and everything. Okay. Alright, everything seems good, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So, as always, everyone, heyo, my fellow Rumble Maniacs. It's Mr. Rumble Rose is here, and welcome back to yet another installment of Let's Play Live, where I stream random things at random times for various different reasons. And, today I decided to do some more Night Rain because I was kind of in that Night Raining-like mood. I also wanted to kind of, experiment with more build loadout ideas and everything like that. Last time I did some Night Rain, I was doing a thing of what I refer to as the Faith Onion Raider, because basically, I was playing as Raider, but I have them don the Katarina armor, also known as the Onion armor, and everything, and I was thinking to myself, like, well, who can I do next? And funny enough, I was actually thinking about, like, at one point in time, maybe doing a thing for Guardian, because I remember, like, I had some builds and stuff for Guardian that I wanted to try and do. And I was like, well, wait a minute, Rumble, what about someone else? Who's another thing I can do different things like that with? So, the thing that came to my mind was the Duchess, because, I'd say that Duchess is probably one of my top 3 most played characters that I would play as in Night Rain. With Iron Knight being first, because I always say that I am an Iron Knight main, which I technically am. Like if I'm doing like random roundabout expeditions and all that, then chances are I'll be an Iron Knight. Or sometimes like I might want to either go unga bunga and bonk things out as a Raider. So yeah. But today I'm gonna be doing some stuff with Duchess and see how things go. So, and then I've already technically had her up, but But yeah, so first things first, I'm going to show off the build that I made, because it was actually something I was kind of working on before I actually started streaming. So this is kind of like that, like that last second little thing, if you will. So I'm using Duchess's Chalice, which has a blue slot, a yellow slot, and a white slot, where the white slot is a freebie slot. So that means you can be able to use any color that you want. So in this case, I'm using a blue, yellow, and blue. So the first thing that I'm using is a blue Grand Drizzly Scene, which has max HP increase for each great enemy defeated at a great church. Arcane increase for each great enemy defeated at a run. And max FP increase for each Sorcerer's Rise unlocked. Now, the arcane stuff may not be much, but I think that the HP and FP stuff, could definitely be nice to have. So there's that, and you can actually get this from the collector sideboard. Now I don't know 100% for sure on this because it came around whenever because I noticed it being a thing whenever I had installed the DLC because because for me at least I got the DLC for free because of how I pre-ordered Night Rain, and I pre-ordered the special deluxe thing or whatever. So yeah, but I got this from the collector sideboard. It is what I like to consider as a universal relic because it's not having a thing tied to any specific character, so you can put it on whoever. Next up is a yellow Grand Luminous Scene. I originally had like the yellow Grand Luminous Scene of something that I use for my main common Duchess loadout, which I think I could actually go, which is this right here. I was thinking about actually like using that at first, but then I was like, well, what about the whole situation with the other slots? So I was kind of looking around and everything like that, and then lo and behold, I found a thing for the time being at least, which is improved character skill attack power for Duchess, max FP up with 3+ stats equipped, and +3 in intelligence. And the reason why I said go with this is because of this right here. So, it has improved mind and face for Duchess, but reduced intelligence. And then you have +3 in mind and +3 in face, so I was like, huh, well, what can I do? Like, I could probably, maybe throw in some intelligence in there, maybe, get it like the 3 for 3 or whatever. So, I was kind of looking at everything like that, and then boom, this thing came to me. So I was like, you know what? Maybe we'll do it as like a version 1, run. So, yeah. And the little thing was like I went to the attributes and I checked on the intelligence and everything, so, yeah. Anywho, so, the way that I normally do these kind of runs is that, I mostly do like the regular bosses, so, in this case, I'm not doing the Balancers or Dreadlord. And usually the way I do this is, I try and do like, 2 bosses per stream, and if both runs go well, then of course, I bought the whole thing. But if one goes good, but the other one doesn't, then I technically make like a little, I call it a stream highlight, where I just make it as a little video, but like I do a little, but if that's the case, then like I do like a little thing where, I show the expedition from day one, from from we load it up, or queue up with other people, and also the show day one and all that jazz. But yeah, so it's gonna be trying to hopefully get get a thing going for a Tricephalos, the Gaping Jaw, Because sometimes like even I think like even sometimes when you might get lucky and get queued up pretty quickly. Um, Sometimes the expeditions can take a bit of time, so that's why I usually kind of like boil it down to like two bosses at most. Unless if like say like I'm doing Gaping Jaw, like some out makes progress on it, then maybe I might try like a third boss, for like a one shot, and see if I can do like a one shot type of scenario. Um, but yeah, that's usually how things go there. I usually play in trios. I usually for the most part I play with randoms. So like there's no telling like what's going to happen when I queue with randoms. I don't really do voice chat that much, unless if it's probably with my friend Onyx, because I trust him and I know him more than anyone else and all that jazz. Um, I am kind of open, to possibly having people, partake in joining me, but I doubt that'll ever happen. But it's just a what if, type of thing. So there's that. As far as the rules go that I kind of set for myself, um, I usually try, like just stick it out as much as possible. Unless if like, unless like, things are going really bad, like say for example, I guess like say for example, like I get booted out of the game quite a lot, and then like kind of affects my level ups and everything like that. That's probably like the only time I would ever really leave a session. But other than that, it's like I try and stick it out to the end, and if we if we have like one person from the trio run that's still wanting to stick it out despite the fact that another rando had left for like them rage quitting or had to take care of some IRL, and I try to stick it out at the end. But of course both my teammates leave, then I leave last, so there's that. And yeah, and I think actually what I'm going to do for this little playthrough, I think I'm actually going to change my gear. So I was thinking about what I was going to do, because I think like I played around with the Wraith look before, which is badass. Don't get me wrong. But I think what I'll do is I'll bring out the quote unquote the Bloodborne side of Duchess, and I'll wear the Dawn outfit. Because I don't really see, because I don't think a whole lot of people really wear the Dawn outfit for Duchess. I mean, sometimes I might, but like sometimes I might see like people like rarely wear the like darkness outfit or whatever. As far as like regular look and remembrance, it's kind of like a little bit but yeah, I'm gonna have her don in this little attire and see how things go. And I'm also kind of going to do a little bit of experimentation per se. And I usually I don't do this all the time. But I'm going to put TTV in my name. Even though like I don't expect people to come by my little stream if I queued up with them or whatever. But it's pretty much like at least the one game that that allows me to do that, because like in the case of like DVD, the only way I can be able to have change my name is like I'd say mostly if I was doing it on PC, but I think like if you were to change your name to something else, like via PlayStation, then I think you have to like pay for it or something, which is like, no, thank you. So yeah. But yeah, and I say probably another thing too is depending on how things go with this run will probably be how things go for Tuesday, because I probably might, because this probably gonna be my next little thing that I do, for my Tuesday streams on my active week of streaming and everything, is having like the quote unquote like Tarnished Tuesday, as I kind of like to refer to it. Even though I think like in this game in particular, um, they're not. I don't think they're that the characters are called Tarnished. I think they're called like Nightfarers or something like that. I don't know. I've also been kind of, and I say kind of, thinking about doing the thing that my friend Onyx did with his regular Elden Ring run, but but with different type of character, of course. Uh, the idea that the idea I've been kind of thinking about doing is I've been thinking about maybe doing like like a Duchess type run, sort of like what he did with Wilder run, but I figured that I would probably do a little thing with Duchess because I don't know, daggers and stuff like that, it could be a thing. But I don't know. I don't know. It was just something that kind of just, came off the top of my head to, try and play around with and everything. Because, once upon a random time, whenever me and him were playing some regular Elden Ring together, um, one time, and I don't really mind mentioning this now, because it was just, for a little bit, but one time I did a little thing where I turned my character Lady Ariana from Bloodborne into Duchess a little bit. Like I had basically in a nutshell, like I had like certain outfit, like I had her dressed like Duchess in the best way that I could possibly, and then I think I dressed her up as Duchess in the best way that I could, especially like with all the with all the outfits and stuff that I had for her at the time, which is somewhat limited, but yeah, I did a little thing with that, and then I changed her hairstyle up a bit, and even though like I couldn't have and even though I couldn't really have anything like fancy, for like the like covering the eyes and all that, but I had like just like a random little um like a little thing covering her eyes because she's supposed to, because that's kind of how she is, I guess you can say. Um, but yeah, I did that, but like I still had, but like, it's still kind of like a thing where it's like I had, like, I had Lady Ariana's build as it was, like I had the talismans and the leveling and all that stuff, but I had a couple of daggers to play around with, and one of them was the Reduvia. Like one of them, one of them was the Reduvia because because the Reduvia is actually it is actually a thing that you can build to get in this game. I can't remember the other one the other knife dagger thing that I had for it, but I just remember the Reduvia because um, I remember like using that and kind of like just spamming the lash of war on certain occasions. Jeez, man. You'd think people would be going up against Tricephalos or something. There we go. Jeez, man. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna try and see how this build works out. Maybe I might do another little thing in the future or something. If I get any other ideas or even though like I doubt it's ever gonna happen, but like if someone like recommends a build idea, for me, then I might try it out if I have stuff for it. But we got an executor and we got a reader. This should be fun on the bum. Oh hey, oh hey. But yeah, like but yeah, that was a little fun thing to do and all that. I do think though that Onyx is probably going to want me to try and do like a Guardian run because I think because apparently like he has if I remember correctly, I think like he said that he's got like some kind of like some kind of like spreadsheet or some like notes or something like that involving how to make like a Guardian build and and regular Elden Ring, but I don't know. honestly, like, I wouldn't be against it, but I don't know. It's kind of one of those little things where it's like, I guess you say it's kind of one of those little things where it's like it's different than what I would anticipate, but I would probably be like, well, maybe I can try doing this instead or something. Like, I don't know. Oh, unfortunately, we lost our raider. Well, the question is the executor going to leave, or is he going to stay? What kind of stuff he's got? Peku, balance relics. Okay, that's not too bad of a build, methinks. It's not much. It's not really anything special, but but I'll take it nonetheless. Nice little place to go here, especially because of the fact that it is holy. Ooh, Sacred Wakazashi. The one thing I hate is that you can't both like dual wield or what is it, like dual wield power stance. You can't really use both of those things together. And I have to get to level 3 at most in order to bring up the full power. Holy water, boiled crab. Ooh. Well, unfortunate. I don't really know. The one thing I really don't understand is like why the game is like, oh, if you leave, you could result in the penalty or whatever. Despite the fact that despite the fact that it's like you're the last one to have left. You're the last one there, while your other teammates have already have already left. So it's like, why put that on? Why put that on people? So I don't know. Like that's like the one thing I just will never really understand. I will legit never understand that when it comes to the game. It's like, oh, you queue up in trios, and then your teammates, and then like both your teammates leave, right? And then the next thing you know, it's like, oh, you want to leave as well because you don't want to, you don't want to play a solo thing when it was supposed to be a trios, and then like it gives you that message, and it's like, why? You can't help but ask yourself, like, just like, why? But what can you do? my guess, and it, I'm gonna take a random ass little assumption here, but my guess as to the reason why the Raider left. It was not out of. I'm not gonna say it was out of rage quit, but I want to say that it was probably like connection problems. Like, like there might have been like a little bit of connection issues because and the reason why I kind of say is because like and okay. So with the amount of times that I played this game, the amount of runs that I've done with various random people, I've been trying to like, I guess you could say learn. I've been trying like to like learn the mindset of why people leave when they do. Okay, like sometimes I will see I will sometimes see these moments where it's like one person decides to go off on their own or whatever, thinking that they can be able to take something on by themselves, and then like next thing and like they're low level or they're very low level, everything like that, and the next thing you know, you're like the boosh, that sound of them going down and everything, and then all of a sudden it's like they don't bother, they don't like bother waiting around for anyone to come, to try and come out, to come, to their little general direction or whatever. Instead, they just leave. Um, and another thing about it too is that, it's like they, like I said, they just up and leave. They don't even bother, to like wait around or whatever. And I shit you not when I say this, but like I've actually had times where it's like my teammates will literally go to try and maybe like get their runes back from from a place that that they had gone down at or something, like especially like if it was like around like the end of like say day 2, okay, they go down at day 2, they try and get their runes back and everything, and then they will literally and they go down because they couldn't really get their stuff back, and then and then like literally they'll just like rage quit and then not come back. Um, Now, sometimes when people have left pretty early, like that Raider did, sometimes it could be the whole situation of possibly either like connection issues because I have talked to various people that have had that situation happen to them, or they don't like how something was, or they don't like how something was going on, I guess. I remember one time. Like I remember one time, we had. I think I was playing as Raider at this time, but I think we had like 2 people who wanted to play who decided to play a Scholar, and then one person ended up leaving and then I think the other person soon left afterwards, and then I kind of remember like trying to ask the first person. I was like, "Hey, why did you leave for?" And then I'm not playing the same. I'm not doing like the same dual type character or whatever because usually it doesn't work out or what have you. So I was like, oh, okay. Um, and then I remember like sort of talking to the other person. And I remember kind of like talking to the other person that was in that session, and they had said that like, oh, there was, like, oh, like I didn't want to play as this character or something like that. I can't remember. It was like, but there's like, but it was like the whole like character, differentiation or whatever. So there was that. I think they actually said that they picked the wrong character. So I was like, oh, well, who exactly were you wanting to play as? And they said they were wanting to play as a recluse. You know, they had like some sort of special little loadout thing that they wanted to use. I was like, oh, well, why did you do that? You know. Yeah, does that actually have Ronnie's dark? Does that thing actually have a dark moon? It does. Oh, that's funny. I'm just gonna put that there. I'll take that, sure. I'm gonna go down over here because sometimes there could be a treasure chest. And there's not. It's fine. If you ever see a place like that, the one thing I always would recommend is looking to see if there's a treasure chest there because sometimes there could be. No. I'll take it for now. There's magic damage negation. Nothing really good. I'm being fat shamed from this shit. I popped that a little too late, but it is what it is. Okay, so there's a scarab this way. And one big ass dragon. I think there just had to be a dragon. Ow! There you go. Running away. Yeah, let's go. Hey! Ah, damn it! Miss Revenue Lady, you know you can actually build the two-hand, like two-hand that. You know you can do it, man, right? We'll be back for you, dragon. Maybe. So we got 6 flasks. Oh, we go a new way apparently. Meh. Alright, no treasure chest here. Oh, looky here, Herschel. What's that? Meowly, attack power. Oh man, ain't this by the beach? Alright. Man, part of me actually wants to. Like, part of me thinking to myself is like, do I want to actually go over there? You know, to that blood area. Yeah, this is pretty much what the Sorcerer's Rise stuff is all about. You know, like this little area here. You know, if you have something that increases your FP for each Sorcerer's Rise unlocked, then you can do all that and everything. It's pretty nice. Especially if you're trying to do some sort of an FP type build. Pretty sure. Even though I'm not going to assume much and everything, but I'm pretty sure like I have like this random feeling that my teammates probably wondering like why was that Duchess opening that Sorcerer's Rise for? Well, the answer of it all was because it's part of my build. Open the Sorcerer's Rises. It's like open the Sorcerer's Rise is part of my team. I'll actually take Bloodstained Dagger because it gives off bleed. I'm gonna try and see if I can get this church thing here. Now it'll take. So you can see it's now my flasks are at 7, so I have 7 flasks, and then if we get to day 3, aka the boss and all that, well, you always get that extra charge, so you have like one additional thing in total. So like in this case, it'll go from 7 to 8. Okay. Yeah, the one thing I always like doing with my Duchess build is like I always love having my strong armament at least do bleed damage. Anything extra is, anything extra is, is extra, like the extra goodness, if you will. Ow! I got knocked out of my ability from that. Nice. Oh, actually, I need that. Like, oh, some need that. I was actually trying to see, embouched. Hey, yo. Well, looky here, Herschel. Like that. Yeah, the Guardian stuff, helps out with HP and stamina if you can find one of those like red corpse things. Oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to think, like, does urgent heal actually work, or do you have to have something much powerful than that? I wish I fucking knew. Yeah, I'll do that. Sure. I'll take Rafe calling Bell, sure. I'll take the Rafe calling Bell. What can possibly go wrong? Okay, they're over there. Lord, FP consumption. Oh, yeah. Something's big, and it's roaming around upstairs. Ooh, well, that's what it is. Black Blade Kindred. I hate that move because pretty much like the thing of like death and death or whatever. Woo. Ah, how do you get me from down here? There we go. Nicely done, nicely done. Hey, there we go. Wow. We got Mogwin's Spur. Fuck. What the? Like, what did I do, man? What did I do? I see something forming on the horizon. I see something forming on the horizon. Let's see. Reduce all damage negation. Apparently someone left a comment on about something on YouTube. What the fuck was that all about? Oh boy, they're calling. So apparently, okay, hold on. Okay, so yeah, so apparently someone, sorry, I was kind of distracted because it's like, someone commented on the thing. So, basically someone had commented on a very old Postal 4 video of mine about where the penetrator is and everything. And, it's like, where is it on the map, you useless, time-consuming idiot, or whatever. Basically kind of insulted me because, it's like, yeah, because I quote, like, wasted their time and everything. So, yeah, part of me thinking to myself, it's like, do I now want to, just to come out with it or whatever, or, or what have you, or try to just let them try, like, to find it on their own. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Ow! I'll take it. very nice, very nice, very nice. Alright, create more of that FP. Alright. Damn. Ew. There we go. Nice. Legit jazz. So. Yeah, so for context, someone had just left a comment on on my old Postal 4 video of mine where where I found a secret little weapon which is called the Penetrator. I believe the Penetrator actually came from Postal Brain Damage, which I'll be actually getting back into that game pretty soon, like methinks. And a lot of people have been asking the question of like, where's it at? How do I get to it? And like, then this one person's like, and then like, this one person this one person is like, where's that on the map, you time-stealing idiot, or, whatever. Yeah, it's like, yeah, dude says, where's on the map, you useless time-stealing idiot? And the thing is, like, I haven't played Postal 4 in so fucking long that, you know, like, even I don't know where the fuck the damn place is. I have been thinking about, like, whether or not, I have been sort of thinking about, like, whether or not that I want to, you know, try and do, like, another, blah, blah. I've been trying to think about, like, whether or not if I want to, you know, go back and actually try and do another stream Postal 4. Because originally at one point in time, give me a sec. Because originally at one point in time, I was thinking to myself, like, well, you know, the one thing I was wanting to try and do was try and do a pacifist run. But every time I did that, it would always add that one body to the count, or that one body. It would add like one body count to the thing, and overall just, you know, fuck up the whole experience. So I kind of like put that game to the side and everything, and therefore it's like I don't know where the fuck you know, I don't remember, you know, too much of everything from you know, from that game, like especially like, you know, where especially like, you know, where on the map is the place to find the penetrator weapon. Which, in case if anyone's wondering what the fuck I'm even talking about, the penetrator is pretty much like a bow and arrow type weapon that shoots literal dildos. And no, I'm not shitting you. But yeah, it was the thing that yeah, it was a thing at one point that I think it's like debuted in Postal Brain Damage, and then somewhere along the line they added into Postal 4. So I'm gonna recluse. Yeah, like I don't know exactly as to where the fuck on the map the damn weapon is. You know, it's like, you know, I just posted like you know, it's like not everyone's gonna have the fucking information. You know, it's like, oh, I, you know, just, you know, it's like, oh, I just, you know, took a little something from the game. You know, it's like you know, I had a moment where it's like I found something, you know, and all that. So, there's poison. Okay. Duchess doesn't have that has a nice little build. But yeah, like I said, like I said, sometimes you might see, you know, like another Duchess wearing like the darkness outfit, but you don't really see them. You don't really see a whole lot of people wearing the Dawn outfit. Which I mean, it's like which I mean, like as the old saying goes, to each their own. You know. To each their own as far as like what kind of outfit they might wear more than anything else. Edge. Whoop, 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 whoop. You be here. Hold on. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I may just to kind of, for one, to shut people up, and that, and not have, disrespectful little motherfuckers, getting on my ass all the time. I might randomly do a little thing where it's like, you know what, it's like, you know what, I'll reinstall Postal 4, I'll reinstall Postal 4, and find out where the fuck, find out, like where the fuck, the thing's at, because I literally do not know. Yo, what the fuck are you doing down here? Ow! Ow! He's like, you can fuck right off. Alright, so first things first, I want to go here, get some levels up. Second, I want this dagger because it has starting around poison. And then I'll put that there for bleed. So now I technically have a poison and blood combo. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now, if I get something, that's better than, the other Duchess's dagger that has, poison on it, then, I'll switch it out. But for right now, That's one down. Level 5. Like I say, now I have, slightly upgradable, slightly better dagger, type thing. Like since, it has, strong reduced poison. And I'll have a bleed dagger. Probably put that right there. Alright. Give me fair. Nothing over here. I think the other Duchess has a remembrance that they're doing. But yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, like I said, I might humor the people, like keep asking about, like where's the location of this thing, and then how do I get to it, and all that. Well, like I said, probably sometime after I, do my thing with this, and I have some time to kill, then. Maybe then I'll do the civic duty of reinstalling Postal 4, finding out where that thing is on the map, and going from there. I'll even throw in an extra bonus and try to provide some commentary. Miss me. You missed, bitch. Where is the others? It's like, where are the others going? objective. Fair enough, fair enough. That looks like a fucking dragon. Oh! What fucking timing on that? Like, I literally, as soon as I get up, all of a sudden it's like motherfuckers just... Yo. Like, as soon as I go up the fucking mountain, or in the fucking thing. Motherfucker. I was kind of hoping, to like go. Yeah, so I was kind of hoping, like, to like go here. Do that, and then. No, you're not doing that to me a second time. Ew! Alright, what we got? Oh, this fucker. Ow. Ow. Ouch. And I'm worried about finally one shot right now. Ow! One more minute. Ah, it fucking moved me. There you go. Ow! Fuck off. That was such ass, dude. Oh my god. So. Well, unfortunately, that was an ass of a run. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try one more possible expedition, see if I can actually get queued up for that boss again. And hopefully, question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, we have some progress, you know. Before we do that though, I do want to check something. Okay, so these are green. So blue and green. I was kind of just, I'm kind of just experimenting with, builds a bit. I don't have anything in particular. I could technically do that. But I think I'll do that. I think I'll stick to that for right now. Yeah, while I wait for another possible queue up, um, I'm gonna go look at something. Alright. Yeah, sometimes you gotta just unqueue and then requeue, and then sometimes you might get lucky. But yeah, I feel like in a way I can kind of understand the the recluse stuff, you know, leaving like that, but at the same time, though, it's just like, it's at the same time, though, it's just, these campus just thinking to us, like, really? You know, like, I know you're fully fully barred out and whatever, but still. I say if we don't get an expedition when it hits the 2 hour mark, never mind. I was gonna say if it hits 2 hours and we don't get an expedition against Gaping Jaw, that would probably be where I actually would end it. So another couple of Duchesses and an Executor this time. Golden Ring Dummy and Knight of Sonora. Sonora? I don't fucking know. It's a Knight of something, that's all I know. Okay, so possibility of a goal is to try and get something that has poison on it. If we're lucky to be able to try and find a poison, you know, like a poison dagger of some sort, that would be cool. But we will see. Let's see. Double balancer. That's. I'm kind of surprised that they're going with that they have holy on their dagger. Safety recovery. Oh, we got Crater. How lovely. everything. We're gonna put that there. Over here, there's not. Okay. So because then they went over here and everything, I too am gonna go to this church over here. I mean, that could be a nice little thing for the executor, actually, but... Okay. What is it? Ow! Well, it gives me something that does poison, but it's a boo. Can I get a fucking dagger of some kind, like a very nice one? Well, not really. Ouch. That wasn't a bit nice. Look for that, I'm gonna see what's over here. If I remember correctly, I think Dragonwood Grease can help out a little bit, facing that job. What? But it's not. Oh. Like, hey, we're going up here. These boys. Level 10. Good old tin. Alright. Like, can we please not fight the gargoyle bird thing? Can we not fight him again? We're the boss. Hatch. Attack enemies die instantly on rare occasions. Sure, we can go there. He's like, oh, we can go there. Not dealing with earthly burial watchdog. And a fucking invader. I don't want that, tell you. If you don't want it. Don't want it, don't want to do it. Nope, don't want to do it, nope. Yeah, usually most of the time whenever there's a shifting earth going on, you know, especially like in this case, most people often do a little thing, whether you want to call it like the unwritten rule or not, but usually people are like, we'll try to like go to, shifting earth around like, you know, like start of day 2 or even before day 2 quote unquote officially begins. You know, so that way, previously, you know, people can, you know, try and get like some sort of head start on the thing. You know, it's like sometimes people, you know, will try and get like a head start on things and, you know, be able to, get some goodies. Maybe get some goodies and Do like some extra little stuff if if there's time. There. Level 11. Jeez, I'm getting these fucking. I'm getting these fucking
There
things.
is no escape
Oh.
for thee, little pillager, bent on sacking the lands of gold.
Where is he? Be careful. I couldn't do anything. Ow. Where is he? Asking you shall receive, I guess. Motherfucker's in the volcano. Well, in the lava, but still. It's like, how the fuck you supposed to expect anyone to, to fight you like that?
Fell omen shall not wane.
Ooh. Alright. Jeez, always holy in fires. Like, always holy in fires, and nothing for poison. Well, sheesh, man. Well, better than nothing, I guess. Oh, thank you. Ow. Ooh. Well, I'll take a winning grace. I'll just put it on. I'll just put it on the bow. Yeah. Next week we'll go over here, take care of the Demon Queen, and then I will actually get the and then I'm able to get the church over there. Yeah, here. Ah. I see. You want to go for that boss. That boss, what you gonna do? Actually, hold on. I'll do that. like, why are you not getting kicked out? No, I will take that. I think, and I might be somewhat wrong on this, but I think Scarlet Rot could technically also kind of be of use. Long beat. Oh, beat the dragon. And that's blood proc. There we go. Sure, do that. Yeah, I think like Scarlet Rock could technically be like a secondary if you can't, find anything that inflicts poison. So, well, we will see. We will see what happens. How did that hit me? Wow, every time I try to go do the fucking... Every time I try to do the fucking thing, it's like, it just... Oh, come on! I literally was right under him where he can go to get me. I'm running. Okay, he is rotted. Nice. Alright. So, took a couple of attempts, but we got there in the end, methinks. Well, it's not methinks, it's more like me knows. I'll keep those for right now, but I have to do a bit of a thing where it's like, oh, I'm probably getting close to the end, or I'm probably getting close to that point where it's like, oh, I have to probably sell some shit, to be able to continue more expeditions. Which is really hard to do, and it's really stupid to do because it's like, because like you try and keep certain things. Why did I go there? Because like, you try and keep certain things, that you want to, possibly have for, for like a build and everything like that, and then suddenly it's like, oh, you can't be able to go on any more expeditions until you sell some relics. So, alright, but, yeah, I think I was gonna go ahead and do it for this stream and everything. I was kind of, like I said, I was kind of in that slight little, like, mood to play some Night Raid and everything. Especially, like, trying to, make like a new little build series type thing, if you will. So, yeah, but I hope you guys have enjoyed and everything. I'll probably continue more of this on Tuesday as part of my active week of streaming. Today's Sunday. and tomorrow will be Monday, which will be the start of my active week of streaming and everything. So, yeah. And yeah, probably sometime, and yeah, probably like shortly after I end the stream here, um, I might actually try and, reinstall Postal 4, and mainly because I'm just, gonna try and see if I can, just try and put the theory, just put, the questions to bed, and, and everything like that, because, I'm pretty sure, like, people, because I've had, like, I know for sure, like, I've had the fair share of, the comments, everything like that, but, like, where the fuck is this thing at? Where's this, where's this gun, where's this weapon at? Blah, 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 why don't you show us on the map, and, all that jazz. Put that up there. You know what? Let's do a little thing for the hell of it. Let's look at some Night Rain streams. Check this person out. Never mind, they're follower only. Yucky yucky. Okay, are they doing an all executor run or something? Yeah, we might try this person out. Cause fuck it, why not? Yeah, now I gotta wait a hot minute so I can type in my own chat. Rest my tears on that. But yeah, while I'm, kind of trying to set things up and everything like that, I guess there's some things I can kind of talk about. So, I decided to do a little thing of playing some more GTA Vice City. I did some stuff on my downtime. I bought the film industry set location, and I did all the missions for that. So I think like the only thing I have to really do now is try and gather up enough money to buy the Malibu Club. And I believe like once I do that and I finish up all the mission stuff there, then that'll lead me towards in game. That'll lead me towards like the in game. Um, and I kind of decided to do a little thing of possibly doing like a second playthrough somewhere down the road. Mainly because I had used a cheat, which is only just one, but I was kind of like wanting to, like spawn a tank and everything like that, see if it actually would work. Which it did, and all that. But, but yeah, I'm probably gonna be doing a second playthrough. It may be soon, maybe later, I don't know. Because, because like I'm saying, like, cause right now, like, I'm kind of wanting to, like, focus on, like, just, getting through the main, just, getting to have, like, my first little playthrough under my belt, per se. And then, I can worry about, like, other stuff in the future. And stuff. So yeah, there's kind of beyond, so yeah, basically in a nutshell, like, there's gonna be a possible, second playthrough of Vice City in the future. Maybe soon, maybe later, I don't know. But, another thing I kind of wanted to talk about was Postal. Besides the Postal 4, or besides the Postal 4 situation, um, I think I managed to sort of get everything settled as far as like the sporadic movements and stuff go. I did kind of a little bit of a thing where it's like kind of like toned down like the sensitivity of my movements and everything. But I believe that because I believe because of my wired controller being a little bit sensitive per se, I think I can still have like the situation of it still has like it still has those like those weird random movements, but I think it might be happening less. So so yeah, so that might be a thing, but probably tomorrow. Yeah, probably tomorrow I might try and I might try to like do the new playthrough of These Sunny Days, aka the DLC and everything, and see how that stuff goes. Excuse me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So, other than that, I just want to say as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really and truly do appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the stream as random as it may have been. Probably on, like I said, probably on Tuesday I'll continue more of my Face Duchess run. And I might also kind of experiment with like a second Face Duchess build, per se. So we'll see. All right. Alright, so until I see y'all in the next video or live stream, as always, take care everybody, and I hope you all have a good week or weekend.